Okay, so as I record this, it's been 13 years since Gerry Rafferty passed away from liver failure. And I just kind of wanted to do something about Gerry Rafferty. I know of Steelers Wheel and Stuck in the Middle with You. Of course, he sings lead vocals on that, but I think he wasn't even in the music video because he already left the band by then. Again, I've learned a lot more about Gerry in the last day than I ever did before. And Right Down the Line is one of his best known tracks. Of course, Baker Street is another one, and I have heard that one, but that's about it. I've heard Stuck in the Middle with You and Baker Street. But here we go, Right Down the Line. I wanted to do something about Gerry today, and I don't know how this video is going to do, but let's get into it anyway and talk about it after. Gerry Rafferty, Right Down the Line, 4.5 minutes. Let's go. So airy.
Your love, you got that hold over me. Long as I got your love, you know that I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. And it's been you, woman, right down the line. How much I lean on you, only you can see.
And vocal raise.
The changes that have been true have left a mark on me. You've been as constant as a northern star, the brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. I just wanna say this is my way of telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving you so much more, 'cause you believed in me through my darkest night. Put something better inside of me. You brought me into the light. I threw away all those crazy dreams. I put them all behind. And it was you, woman, right down the line.
shots of piano at the end there. My goodness. All right, there it is, Gerry Rafferty, and right down the line. So, like I was saying, 13 years ago today, he passed away. So I was reading up on him and learning more about him. And again, I'm not a Gerry Rafferty enthusiast or whatever, but when I hear the song now, I can appreciate what he's really talking about. Because if you know anything about Gerry, you know that he wasn't a very big fan of the music industry. He wasn't a very big fan of fame. He didn't really care for celebrity. I remember, of course, Billy Connolly, who he worked with in the Humble Bums, as I learned, once talked about how, Billy, he said he wanted success, he wanted fame. Gerry wanted respect, and you would think that Gerry got that at the end of it. But anyway, and what's kind of ironic, or you might even say funny, is that with this album, City to City, that this song was on, Gerry got became even more successful. And I'm sure he was like, Jesus Christ, look what I did myself now. Anyway, but yeah, so I just think about, and again, with Stealers Wheel, I got to get it all out here, because Stealers Wheel happened, they released Stuck in the Middle with You, the biggest track, in 72, I want to say, and Gerry, again, sang on that, and then he left the band quickly after, I believe, and he didn't even appear in the video because he was already gone, so the other member, Joe Egan, I do believe, mimed the vocals, but of course it wasn't his vocals. Anyway, I just learned all this stuff, so I'm spewing it out here. But but Gerry talked about his troubles with, like, a Stealers Wheel, not being allowed to make music after that because of contracts and all this stuff, and then he finally was allowed to make it in 78, and he released the stuff, and it kind of in that way reminds me of, like, it's not the same way, because I don't think it had nothing to do with contracts, but like George Harrison and the Beatles, he was only, really, if you want to say allowed, I guess he was only allowed to write a couple songs on every Beatles record. So he had so many songs just saved up, and once he released All Things Must Pass, there were so many hits on it, because he was dwelling on these songs forever. He couldn't release them. So anyway, it's just that in that same kind of way, Gerry finally can come out with songs like Baker Street and Right Down the Line, and I've never listened to it either, but another song that I see here that people like Night Owl, or Get It Right Next Time as well. These songs here, and he can finally produce songs, and when he finally is allowed to, they're great. But anyway. And I just think about all of his troubles, all of his legal battles, whatever, and everything he's gone through with the music business and fame and whatever. But at the same time, it always came down to his wife. And that's what I've read too on songfacts.com here. The song was pretty much about his wife, Carla. They married in 1970. They divorced in 1990. And as well with Gerry, one of the reasons, a factor in his early death at 63 was he was a fan of the bottle. I mean, my goodness, he was, I guess, he a bit of an alcoholic, I guess you would say. I hate to speak ill of the dead in that way, but I mean, that's kind of what it was, and that's what led to some of his liver failure. But anyway, so either way, so they had to divorce. They divorced in 1990, as I read as well. His alcoholism kind of played into that. They remained close after the divorce, but they had to divorce or whatever. It might have been other factors there too, but either way, the bottle was a factor. And so yeah, Gerry just talking about this, telling his wife, you're the only reason, I'm still here in a way. I mean, my God, you're the only reason I can continue on. You're the only one I can look to, because everyone else will just disappoint me. And it's just, I mean, again, this I would imagine this is a wedding song for many people. This song is just so lush. It's just so beautiful. It's a gorgeous track. Obviously, it's soft rock. There's a hint. I wouldn't even say there's more than a hint of a kind of reggae feel here, a reggae rock feel. That steel guitar is just, unmissable as well. There was that solo. I can't remember if it was the steel guitar solo or it might have been just the lead guitar solo. Either way, the solo from the guitar solo was sexy. I gotta say, it was kind of sultry. I mean, it added to the romanticism, the romantic feel anyway of the song. And it just, I mean, yeah, it added that extra layer. Beautiful organ on the track there too, and like I said, the shots of piano at the end. And I looked at the timestamp around like the 150 mark and on there, so maybe like the 2-minute mark, whatever. It did get more heavy in a way. Gerry kind of became more animated. I would say his voice got a little bit heavier in that way, but there's nothing booming about this track at all. Again, that's not the point. This track is just so light and soft and just so tender. Everything here is tender. And yeah, like I said, the organ, it almost sounds like I'm in a church or something, and it's just beautiful, and it's just played so well, and it's just played so, everything just seems so intricate here. And anyway, but the focal point too being Gerry's distinct vocals. I don't even know how I would describe Gerry's vocals. They're distinctive, but it almost like he has such a heavy, maybe a husky voice, I would say. I don't even know how to describe it. It almost sounds like more than just him singing, and I don't know if he, layered his voice or what the hell, or if that makes any sense. But it's just, I don't know, his voice, there's a huskiness to it, perhaps, is what I'm saying. And but there's a friendliness to it as well. There's a quirkiness to it. And I'm just thinking of other songs I've heard. The only two other songs I've heard from him being Baker Street and Stuck in the Middle with You. When you hear his voice, you know it's him. I don't know. There's just, again, there's a quirkiness to him. And I just like it a lot. But anyway, that's why I really wanted to do this one today. And obviously why it has so many different, so many views. And again, it's so loved by people in the comments. It's one of the greatest love songs I think I've heard. Yeah. And relatable for many people. And if you're not, if you are not in a relationship or you're struggling there, you might hate the song. But anyway, the personnel here. Gerry Rafferty, would you believe he's on the song? He's on vocals and rhythm guitar. Hugh Burns on lead guitar. Tommy Ayer, I want to say, is on organ and piano. So Tommy, good Lord, Tommy was, other than Jerry's great vocals, of course, and in the guitar solo, the organ here, again, just was moving as hell. And again, the piano, I especially love that at the end. But anyway, moving on here. Gary Taylor on bass, BJ Cole on steel guitar. There's a steel guitar. And Liam, oh goodness, Ganachary, I apologize, is on drums here. Anyway, Liam, you're on drums here. And Glenn Lafleur, I guess French there, is on tambourine and clave, or clave. I can never pronounce that. Either way, I did like that. I believe that was there was a constant tambourine in there, I thought. And anyway, so that added to the mood, and just atmospheric, airy, beautiful, everything here. Again, moving, all these things come to mind, and it's so pretty, and it's so lovely. And again, I'm sure this has been played at many weddings, but let's move on to the lyrics here. Kind of straightforward, so let's get into them. You know I need your love. First line says it all. Goddamn. Anyway, you've got that hold over me. Again, he's in the same vein as like Iggy Pop and Iggy and the Stooges, or just the Stooges. What the hell am I saying? I want to be your dog. This is kind of in that same way, but it's, I guess, a better, not as, I guess, punky in that way. Anyway, you've got a hold over me. She's got a spell on him. Long as I've got your love, you know that I'll never leave. Again, he's never going to leave this relationship. It's going to be her that's going to have to do it either way, because he ain't leaving. When I wanted you to share my life, again, it's just so personal and beautiful. I had no doubt in my mind, and it's been you, woman, right down the line. And again, everything he's gone through, everything, if you read about what he's gone through and his problems and whatever, and this means so much to him. And, she means so much to him. It's just, gets you in the heartstrings. I know how much I lean on you. Only you can see the changes that I've been through have left a mark on me. Again, I would say he's talking about his legal troubles, whatever it is, in the music business, all the stuff, fame, whatever the hell. You've seen what it's done to me, whatever, but you make me better. You've been a constant as a northern star. Oh, my goodness gracious. Northern Star. I know it's a different song, but, like something like Northern Sky by Nick Drake comes to mind. Anyway, the brightest light that shines, it's been you, woman, right down the line. And I guess right down the line, if you just want to say what that's about, you're, I get, there's another way of saying, in a way, you've been the one for me anyway, and just right down the line, there you are for me. I don't know, something in that vein, but either way, you're always next to me, you're always there, you're always right down the line. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Then we go to the chorus anyway. I just want to say this is my way of telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving you so much more. I love you more and more every day. And I just love that, he's a songwriter. I would imagine, as he said there, at the end of the line there, at the end of the chorus, I tell you every day how much I love you. But for a songwriter, he can only do this as well in a song. He's got to say it in the song and say how much he loves her in a song. So that's what he did here. And again, it became one of his most popular tracks. Then we're going to the third verse, I believe probably the last verse. Because you believed in me. And again, when you think again about his whole past and his history, that's a big point for him. That's a big, he's happy about that. Through my darkest night, put something better inside of me. You put the light inside of me. Good Lord. You brought me into the light. There we go. I threw away all those crazy dreams. I put them all behind, and it was you, woman, right down the line. There you were for me all the time. Never left my side, and I appreciate that so much. And then we have the guitar solo, as I said. Just beautiful, adds to everything. The chorus, and then the fourth verse. There's another verse, the last verse here. If I should doubt myself, if I'm losing ground, I won't turn to someone else. They'll only let me down. Again, if I'm ever in a bad place, I always come to you. You always know what to say. You always know what to do. Good Lord. When I wanted to share my life, we go back to that line. I had no doubt in my mind, and it's been you, woman, right down the line. Oh, just beautiful. not hauntingly. Well, I was going to say hauntingly beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's peppy. It's just, I mean, it's everything you want in a relationship, I guess you would say. And again, it kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say it loses steam because they divorced in 1990, but again, they remained close anyway. And of course, for those 20 years that they were married, Gerry was very happy. I would suspect anyway. And by this time too, 1978, when this album came out anyway, I'm sure he probably wrote this in 77, whatever. But they were married for about 7 years at that point. And again, she saw him at his highest, at his lowest. Saw him go through so many, and I guess maybe not his highest because he got it to his highest about a couple of years later when this album came out. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is she was there for him all the time. He was appreciative. He loved her so much, and yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful track, and it's extravagant, and it's lovely, and it's lush, and I loved it a lot. So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Rest in peace to Gerry Rafferty. Again, it's been 13 years, but just wanted to do something about him because, again, I've never reacted to him. And I know some people have talked about him, in the comments before. So anyway, thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.